Welcome to the weekly Jeremy Pruitt press conference. Coach will start us off with an opening statement, then please raise your hands for questions.
You know, it's probably a lot easier for our guys to come to practice after they've experienced a win, but I'm sure it'll be something that we'll have to coach around and see how we respond. We have so many things that we need to improve on. We improved on a lot of things this past week, but still a lot of errors, some critical mistakes in the game. We're still looking to play a complete game for 60 minutes. I thought offensively we did eliminate some of our errors from the previous week. We, especially after the lightning delay, we were a lot more efficient offensively. Didn't turn the ball over, which was a plus, and scored in the red area. So defensively, minimized the big plays defensively and got off the field on third down. And we created a score on defense and also on special teams. So that's always good, and got another turnover to set up a offensive touchdown there. We're excited about this week. It's another opportunity for us. We've really got to improve this week in all phases, just from the details of knowing what to do and how to do it. I think our coaches have really got to do a good job continuing to try to develop this team, create some depth, learning exactly what we want to do and how we want to do it. UTEP, I look at them and to me, I think they're very similar to us. I think this is Dana's first year. You look at them when offensively, when they go in the right direction and everybody's on the same page, they have an opportunity to have success. And when they don't, they haven't. Defensively, they play hard, they're sound. You know what they're trying to do defensively. You can see kind of the Kansas State background there on the defensive side of the ball, but they play hard. So we'll have a challenge, a tremendous challenge for us. We've got to be able to execute this week and really need to improve. With that, we'll take any questions.
Steve.
You haven't committed a turnover yet. You haven't committed a turnover yet, and I believe you have the fewest penalty yards of any team in the SEC. So from that standpoint, it looks like you're playing pretty disciplined. When you see, I'll look up film, where do you see the errors where you need to have more discipline?
Well, if you just started on offense, too many negative plays or plays of 0 or less. You can start at the quarterback position. We've got to make sure we're in the right play. Got to make sure we identify the correct guys up front, throwing the ball in the right direction, run the correct routes at wide receiver, blocking the right people on the perimeter, offensive line, tight ends, communicating with one another, stepping in the right direction, just blocking the right folks. So we minimized our mistakes from the previous week, but we're still nowhere close to where we need to be. And I think when we do it the right way, we have good plays. When we don't, we don't. So we got to continue to improve and get it figured out.
David Evans and Trey.
Trey, as you prepared for the large-scale duties of being a head coach on game day, what did that preparation process look like for game management? We talk about studying the clock, studying timeouts, those kind of things. How did you prepare for that?
Say it again.
As you studied and prepared for managing the clock and managing timeouts, things that you do as a head coach, you don't as a coordinator, what did your preparation process look like?
Well, I think being a football coach, you're aware of those scenarios. Doesn't matter if you coach the defensive backs, coach the kickers. A lot of it is common sense. But there are some things that you have to kind of study as far as maybe you don't have 3 timeouts, maybe only have 2 at the end of the game. When should you take a timeout? Some of that stuff, but none of those scenarios ever came up yet.
Trey.
Coach, what are your impressions on Juwan Jennings 2 games into the season? How do you think he is reacting coming out of fall camp? And can you use him a little bit more often with his pass attack?
Well, Juwan is playing really well on special teams. He had been limited in fall camp. He's starting to get his legs back under him, and he's a guy that I think is a really good competitor. I think the guy's instinctive. sometimes when you call pass routes, sometimes you ain't got any idea where it's going to go based off what you're waiting to see what the defense does. So I think the balls that have been targeted to him, he's done a really good job, and he secured the football, which was one thing I was concerned about because he didn't have an opportunity to take any licks during fall camp. But he's ran the ball pretty good after he's caught it. So we probably need to find a way to get him more involved offensively. But I think right now with their quarterbacks, they're being efficient and they're for the most part putting the ball where it's supposed to be.
Nathaniel Rutherford, Blake Topmeyer.
Coach, a little bit more from Emmett Good and DeAndre Johnson on Saturday. Now that you had a chance to look back at the film, what did you see from them from Saturday's game?
Well, Emmett, he made some plays. He's continuing to improve each week, and this will be a big week for him. He's still got a long ways to go, but he does have some ability. I think he's worked pretty hard in fall camp. When he practices well, he plays well and performs well, so he's got to continue to do that.
Blake.
Jeremy, you've been rotating among several offensive linemen. Would you like to get to the point where you got 5 guys that you roll with throughout most of the game, or are you pretty comfortable going throughout the season rotating in a few guys?
Well, I think a lot of that depends on who the 5 guys are. You want to play your best players. If there's not much difference in the guys out there, then you might as well play multiple guys to keep them fresh. So I think we're still figuring out who we are up front. We're making strides in the right direction, but we've got to continue to improve.
Austin, Rhiannon, and Jesse.
Coach, after going back and looking at the film, assess Theo Jackson, then do you feel like Alante Taylor responded on Saturday after not getting the start?
Well, I think each week there'll be different guys that play in the secondary. We've got to get everybody to play at a high level, and I think the way you go about your business and practice is very important. I think, Theo and Alante got a lot to learn, and really they got to take it from the practice field to the playing field. Continue to develop. They're both inexperienced guys. It's not played a lot of college football, so hopefully they'll improve each week.
Brandon.
What does it mean to have a player like Paul Bain, who's all that he's done to earn a scholarship in terms of stuff that he's had to do off the field that most being a walk-on, they don't have to do if you're a scholarship player. What does it mean to put him on scholarship and have him as an example?
Well, I think Paul is a guy that works really hard. We have a lot of walk-ons in our program that work really hard, and they're all over the country, and I think it builds character. Heck, I was a walk-on, and so he's not the first one that's ever done it. When it comes to playing, he's still got to be consistent and really learn what to do. He has some ability, but I think he's a very good representative to the University of Tennessee.
Jesse.
Jeremy, when you kind of lamented the lack of pass rush after the game on Saturday, when you got to watch the film, what do you see in there that's the reason why you guys aren't giving the quarterback enough consistency?
Well, I think some of it has to do with the ball coming out fast. I think some of it could be with teams protecting with 7 folks. You can affect the quarterback in more than one way. You can get your hands up and get batted balls, which we did. You can disguise. If you do a good job disguising, maybe the quarterback holds the ball that allows the pass rush to get there. The one thing that I've noticed that we've got to improve on is in the last 2 games, how many times have we had a defender that's from here to this bottle from the quarterback and you don't get him on the ground? So when we get this close, we need to be getting them on the ground. That's something we need to improve on.
Patrick and Rob.
Jeremy, it looked like to me when you came out of the weather delay on offense, you guys went right to your gap scheme, power counter stuff in the run game, and some of that G League toss stuff. Why did you go to that, and do you think your guys are executing that kind of stuff better right now than maybe your zone stuff?
Well, I think if you look at the last 2 games, I don't think we've started very fast offensively. We've not been very efficient. After a couple of series, whether it was the end of the first quarter 2 weeks ago, or it was after the delay this past week, which was really the first quarter. We've been much more productive after that. So I think we got to find a way to start a little faster, be a little more efficient. Some of that has to do with execution, and I think some of it is maybe how you just start the game, a little bit more fire.
Rob?
Coach, on the offensive line specifically, how did you think Ryan did in his first start at center, and just what did you do better after that first quarter when you really had a lot more success up front?
Well, Ryan's a guy that, University of Tennessee is very important to him. He takes a lot of pride in being a Tennessee Volunteer. He works really hard at practice. I think that he tries to play with the right toughness that you should play with. He's still a young guy that has played lots of positions. He's moved to center now. He's probably still learning exactly everything that he needs to know, but he competes hard. And was he perfect? No, he was nowhere close to perfect, but nobody is. But I think he'll continue to improve there.
Vince and Patrick Brown.
Coach, after the West Virginia game, you mentioned that you personally wanted to do a better job of maybe being able to influence the offense if necessary. Did you feel that you were able to do a better job of that in this past game?
Well, I don't think that from an influence standpoint, I'm just talking about being able to contribute. If I see something out there, being able to give them the information. So, I thought our guys were kind of really in tune to what we were trying to get done, and we made corrections as the game went. So I didn't really help them a whole lot. Probably got in their way more than I helped them.
Patrick Brown, and then David Cobb.
Jeremy, in the second half, it looks like you guys gave a couple of those young linebackers a lot of snaps with Ignat and Shannon Reed. What did you see when you went back and watched the film from those guys? How valuable was it that they got some experience that they did?
Well, I think our guys just need to play. We got so many guys that's never played the game. So depending on how long they've been here, how many reps have they really had. So they need to play in games, and they'll improve by doing that. And I think it's good for those guys to get an opportunity.
David Cobb, then Austin Jesse.
Jerry, I was curious to know how familiar you became with Kai Loxley's football journey while working with his dad, and maybe what your impressions are of that family and Kai as a player.
Yeah, Mike and Kia Loxley are very good friends to our family. I worked with Mike for 2 years, and only been around Kai a couple of times when he came on campus there, but love their family. I think Mike's a tremendous coach and a good friend. Kai, he can run. They've had a little bit of problems in protection, just like us, being a new staff, but he's a guy that can get away from it. He can extend plays. He has a good arm. And he's really, I guess he's our leading rusher and passer, so everything starts with him.
Coach, you had a battle in training camp for your starting punter. Kind of assess what you feel like you got out of Joe Doyle through 2 weeks. He seems like he's kicked it pretty well.
Joe and Paxton, been a really good competition. We could let both of them kick, but since Paxton's kicking off, Joe's probably just being a year older, a little more experienced, so we let him punt. We did give Paxton a punt the other day, and Paxton's got a really strong leg. Paxton could actually be a field goal kicker, a kickoff guy, or he could be a punter, so he can contribute in a lot of areas, but he's still learning, as far as operation and things like that, and getting the ball off on time. We've had to shorten him down because he's a naturally big guy on his operations, but he's really worked hard to improve it, and I think he's got a chance to be a good punter one day.
Jesse, then Wes.
Jeremy, it looked like Cortez had just played a couple snaps to start the game. Is he available this weekend, or is he just dinged up?
Yeah, I think he'll be able to practice today.
Wes, and then Steve.
Where is Dominic Wood Anderson in his development right now, and how much can he provide this offense now that y'all had a little bit more time to work with him?
He played much better this week, and probably around the line of scrimmage. He blocked really well. That's something that he's improving on. He's worked hard at it during fall camp. I think that he's a guy that can create some plays for us in the passing game. He's got to be a little more consistent on his route running, and there's lots of guys in our offense that have ability, and they're improving, and I think he's one of those guys.
Steve?
Just wondering, the offseason, when Darren Kirkland was trying to make the decision on whether to come back or not, what did you tell him then? And then after he made the decision, what did you say to him in terms of what y'all were going to need from him this year? And also Ty Chandler.
Well, I've said this before, if a guy doesn't want to be here, we want to help him, give him a chance, an opportunity to go somewhere else, we wanted Darren here, we want all of our guys here. But I did tell him, and I told his family that if he wanted to go somewhere, we would help him go wherever he wanted to go. But we're proud that he decided to stay. I think he's a guy that knows how to play. He's very instinctive. I'm glad that he's getting an opportunity to play after sitting out last year. And as far as Taco played the other day, he'll be ready to practice today.
Any other questions? Jake, final question.
Coach, you talked about in the press conference after the last game that you said Bryce Thompson was drastically different in practice last week. What do you think you need to see from the other DBs in practice to kind of match that level going into UTEP?
Well, Bryce practiced the way you're supposed to practice, and he played well. So I think that would be a good lesson for everybody involved. If you practice the right way, it gives you an opportunity to have success on Saturday. So again, in their program, we're young, we're new, they're trying to figure it out. So I think moving forward, there's lots of lessons that we can learn every week, and we got to make sure that we continue to educate our guys and how we expect things to be done and the standard and really in everything that we're doing. So I think that's a really good example.
Thank you, Coach.